Hello and thank you for joining me today. Well, this is the Wednesday, May 15th edition of our video devotionals, and we appreciate you being with us today. And I hope your Wednesday's going well. It is the middle part of the work week and school week, and also Wednesday evening church services. So attend that if at all possible. But we appreciate you being with us here today. Well, let's jump into it, okay? Our theme this week has been using the word valor or valiant or valiantly. Today we're going to be in Psalm chapter 60. We're going to read verses 9 through 12. Psalm 60, 9 through 12. If it is your custom to get your Bible, follow with us, then do that if you will. Otherwise, we appreciate everybody who watches. And of course, there's folks that as we think about who watch this, who have asked for prayer, that even if they don't ask, there's some we know that are in pretty big need of prayer. There's one specific lady. She's got a lot of health issues. She watches this on a very regular and faithful basis. We think of her. Another lady, same thing, very faithful, and she's asked prayer for herself for some recent surgery and procedures. And then, of course, just there's people that, of course, we all need it. You understand that. So Psalm 60. So let's go and jump into it. Psalm 60, look at verses 9, and then we'll go down to verse 12. And verse 12 has our word that we're looking at as a theme this week. It says, "Who will bring me into the strong city? Who will lead me into Edom? Wilt not thou, O God, which hadst cast us off, and thou, O God, which didst not go out with our armies? Give us help from trouble, for vain is the help of man." Now notice verse 12. "Through God we shall do valiantly, for he it is that shall tread down our enemies." Just from these verses alone, we can see here that there was a time in which the psalmist was realizing the fact that God was not helping them. And I think the obvious reason is because of a departure from God, a lack of trust and that sort of thing. And they're making note of that. They're saying, "Lord, there was a time you've not done that." But who will lead us? Who will be the one that will give us the victory? And the answer there is in verse 10, "Wilt not thou, O God, which hadst cast us off?" In other words, there was a time that you had to show your displeasure and the chastisement upon us. But he's saying, but you're the one that's going to be the one. If it's going to be done, you will be the one. And then, of course, it says in verse 11, "Give us help from trouble, for vain is the help of man." We've had people help us, there's no doubt. And I believe God has used people to help us, no doubt about that. And God was the instrument in making that happen. But as a rule, as it says here, there's a man is so limited. Sometimes it's either because they don't have the resources, maybe not even the desire. But whatever it is, we know there's one that can be counted on, and it's one we better depend upon. And verse 12 says that through God we shall do valiantly. In other words, with God we can do valiantly. Without God, we can't do it valiantly because we need his help. We need God's strength. So I know that's simple, and yet there it is. There it is. When we find ourselves struggling or perhaps in a situation, ask yourself, how close are you to God? What could be a cause other than just the trials of life, and certainly just us, basically depending upon God for everything. But there is a situation in which we could put ourselves in a bad predicament, and God is not helping us at the moment. But we want God's constant help, don't we? We want God to help us in everything. So if we're going to be valiant, we've got to do it through God. Through God, we shall do valiantly, for he it is that shall tread down our enemies. Whatever our enemies are in our life, whether there's some internal, external, all of that, whether it's comes in the form of a person or an entity or a organization, whatever it might be, at any rate, it's God who puts down our enemies. So we can be valiant. And there's plenty of verses that speak about how much strength we have and the power we have, the conquering ability, the victory we have. And all that is through God. So let's make sure our focus is upon the Lord, following him, beseeching him, trusting him, following him. And you know what, as it says here, we can be valiant. We meaning we as a people, but we with God, we can do valiant things. So there we are for today. We're less than 5 minutes today. I think, but that truth is powerful enough. That's all we need to say. So have a great day, safe day, healthy day. And Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow on Thursday. We'll continue this theme of valor and valiant. And I hope you have a great day.